Buster Posey is now in the ownership group of none other than his San Francisco Giants. He is the first former player to now be a part of the ownership group of the player on or of the team on which he played. All reports I saw indicated that he was the first player to become part of the ownership group of the team he played on. Not just at any team. Huh?
Griffey did it earlier this year. He's part of the Mariners.
Is he part of the ownership group?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure that happened earlier this year.
Okay, awesome.
You talk, I'll double check it.
You double check it, I'll talk. He is also now one of the board of directors, members of the board of directors, the sixth member of the board out of 6 members of the board, as far as I could see, which is pretty awesome. Brad, did you find that?
Yeah. October 26, 2021, Ken Griffey Jr. is investing in the Seattle Mariners in a way he never has before. He'll be part of the ownership group going forward.
What? Thank you, research. You failed me again. There are a couple of really cool quotes I want to read off that I thought were really good. The majority owner is Charles Johnson of the San Francisco Giants, and he said about Buster Posey, not only do we get the benefit of a youthful perspective, but somebody who has played in the field and worn the orange and black. We are privileged to have him as part of this ownership group. He said, this was Johnson. He says, I discussed some of the bigger issues that were coming up before the collective bargaining agreement, and just to get an understanding of his perspective versus my perspective. And we had a very good and thoughtful discussion. And at the end of it, Buster Posey, just turned to me and said, we, the players, just don't trust you guys. The end. We just don't trust you guys.
And it makes sense.
And that's something we've talked about a million times. But it's cool now to see a guy who's not that far removed from being on the field at all to go in there with his fresh perspective. It's really exciting.
So here's the difference. Are you ready for this? Buster
ahead.
Posey is doing something that has never been done before. He is a member of the board of directors.
That's what it is. Not the ownership group, the board of directors.
Yeah, not just the ownership group, but he has enough of a stake that he is part of the board of directors. So he can actively make decisions. Griffey, as being part owner, like part of the ownership group for the Mariners, I think is just a figurehead, right? That he can go
financial
that he's like a special consultant to the franchise anyway. And so he's like, well, I have a stake in this franchise, so I can tell you to do this or not to do this, like strongly push this.
Yeah.
Whereas Buster Posey is like, no, we're not doing that.
Right.
Straight
the
up.
End. Yeah. So I think it's really awesome. And I'm excited for Buster Posey. And I think this will be really interesting to see what happens with guys like Griffey making it into the Major League Baseball front office, and guys like Posey making it into ownership groups. Like, I don't know. I'm really interested to see how this in 10 or 15 years changes the nature of baseball, the nature of these relationships, and the nature of negotiations and collective bargaining, and all kinds of rules that could change because of it to protect players or whatever, to improve fan experiences. I think a lot of things are in the works, and we're at the forefront of that. Anyway.
Yeah, I think we are. We're starting to see it in the NBA. I don't know that we'll ever see it in the NFL, but I think it's on the way in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, and it's really exciting.